Okay, here we are. This is lesson 5 of how to draw a speed record car. And what I did was, because the body's going to show through the spokes of the rear wheel, I decided to go ahead and darken the lower part of the body all the way back to the rear tire. And then tomorrow I'll start working on the tire itself and the body work through the wheel and the spokes. So I didn't want to get involved in that tonight because there's too much there to do in just a short amount of time that I'd have to do it. So I'll be able to devote my attention to that and make it come out right. So I wanted to make sure that I did justice to it, because it would be so easy to screw up the drawing back there. But it's come along great so far. Like I say, the thing kind of looks like a boat, but it's probably the height of aerodynamic fashion at the time. You know, just remembering that this is even before World War I, when the first planes were ever used in combat. So this is a pretty crazy time, and there were a lot of experiments going on with all kinds of things, not the least of which was this steam engine and steam car. Of course, they did make a lot of Stanley steamers. There were a lot of them on the road, and they were very serviceable units from what people said. I heard even in those days, when they didn't have many roads, there were people who are said to have made 1 million miles on their cars. I'm guessing that was kind of a calculation, though, rather than real mileage that was accrued. I mean, they probably just figured X number of days, X number of miles per day, and then came up with that figure. But I have seen some of these Stanley engines that were just thrashed to within an inch of their lives, and they still worked under steam. They leaked a little bit, but they were just really, really reliable. And other than the fact that it took a long time to get it started in the morning, and it could freeze overnight in cold weather and all, they were pretty incredible for what they were. If you wanted a car that you could take a leisurely drive in and go somewhere, you'd be pretty hard pressed to take a car that was more likely to get you back than this one, because the cars, once they were sorted out and they ran on either gasoline or kerosene, of course is a little bit less of a danger than the gasoline is from an explosive standpoint, but they just run forever, and there are no spark plugs and not really much of an ignition system. It has a boiler in it, and the boiler is just it is a large vessel, and it has a heater on it, a really, really high heat heater. Burns the fuel, and that boils the water just like in a steam kettle. And when you run it through the valve that gives it to the throttle that goes to the valves control when in the stroke the steam is injected, and they can make tremendous amounts of power. And they were really fun cars to drive. Anyway, going along great. Like I say, here we are. We're just about finished already. That was quick. But tomorrow I'll work on the section of the body that you can see through the wheel, through the spokes. I'll clean those spokes up and the rim up, and we'll be headed right along. After we do the wheel and tire, then we're going to be pretty close to starting on the upper part of the body, and won't be long before we have this done. But first things first. Anyway, I hope to see you here tomorrow. We're going to do quite a bit more. Thanks. Bye.